Americans on the move.
Yep.
We're just going to talk a lot about a few of the names, but Jimmy, you can go wherever you want. And JJ, of course, add your very much needed info. Okay, Nicolas Gioacchini to Montpellier. That was a good one. Venezia might as well just be called Venice Beach right now. Jack de Vries to Venezia from Philly Union on loan, by the way. Hoppe, of course, that's why Jimmy's wearing Mallorca from Schalke. McKennie staying at Juventus despite everybody. Burnley rumors. How about that one? Chris Richards from Bayern Munich to Hoffenheim on loan. And Erik Palmer-Brown from Man City to Troyes on loan as well. Jimmy, where do you want to go?
Well, I'm a friend of Erik Palmer-Brown. He came up through the Kansas City Youth Academy and that area. And I'm excited that he's getting another shot. I think being in Ligue 1 is going to help him, and he's going to be challenged in a way that maybe he hasn't in some of other loan deals. He is one of those kind of Man City lifers that's going to be on loan forever, very similar to the Chelsea lifers that we see. Matt Miazga comes to mind for another national team player that is always on loan. But I'm hoping that he can find a home here, and at some point, if he does well, he can get purchased and kind of start his career without that kind of, I don't know, that backdrop of Man City behind him. Weston McKennie staying at Juventus disappoints me a little bit because I didn't like what Max Allegri did to him this past weekend against Empoli, where he started him at the attacking mid spot and then took him out at halftime. And I just felt like he set him up to fail in some ways. And I didn't think that was cool, Maxi Allegri. Now, he could probably sit here and say that I'm full of shit, and that's fine. He could definitely do that. I'm sure he would. But I actually feel like whether they played him or not to kind of show other teams that he's healthy and he's fine, I just thought they tried to – I don't know whether they sabotaged him or did it on purpose, but it just wasn't – he didn't play in his best spot. And if you're not going to put players in their best spots to play to their strengths, I don't know. Maybe he was doing that on purpose to keep him. I don't know. I really don't know what's happening.
You're worried about McKennie.
I am. Yeah, I don't know if he's a Maxi Allegri type player. And if he's not going to get valuable minutes after playing 46 games under Pirlo last season in all competitions, that worries me a little bit, because if he had gone somewhere where he was actually wanted, then I think we would have got, especially as we lead into 18 months away from a World Cup, I want all of our top players playing as many minutes as possible.
Similar to Koeman throwing Umtiti to the wolves, sending him out to warm up and then get booed by the crowd.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly right. Well, JJ, what do you make of these Americans? A few Americans in the Ligue movement. Gioacchini to Montpellier. You've talked to him. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I'm really curious about this one because I actually have a soft spot for Montpellier in the project that they were forming, and I think they've been dealt two pretty severe blows, losing Andy Delort and Gaëtan Laborde very late on in the transfer window. That's two major holes in their attack. They're going to fill that with Valère Germain on a free transfer, and Gioacchini, being the other attacker coming in on a loan with an option to buy. And I think it's a big opportunity for Gioacchini. I just worry a little bit for Montpellier that they're a little lightweight in attack on paper, where given that they have the quality to mount a push for a potential European qualification. I mean, it's difficult to say at this moment in time. Germain is somebody who needed to move somewhere where he was going to play more regularly, quite some time ago. I think he overstayed his welcome at Marseille. He wasn't the most popular player there because he was quite frustrating. He missed good opportunities. And I just don't think that he's a like-for-like replacement for somebody like Delort. So, it's definitely going to be a challenge for Gioacchini. I know that he was very disappointed with the way that last season went at Caen. And it's only natural, really, that they would look to retool and bring in a new coach with Stéphane Moulin, who enjoyed great success with Angers. And it's just a shame that Gioacchini, is not going to be part of that. But, he does get an immediate ticket to Ligue 1. And this is a big opportunity for him now.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back to Matthew Hoppe and Mallorca very quickly here. And by the way, here's Guillem Balaga talking about what we were discussing. Griezmann not confirmed to Atletico. Luke de Jong not confirmed to Barcelona. Saúl to Chelsea as well. As it all depended on Saúl, as we were discussing per Jimmy's comments, that it was Saúl's agent kind of holding everything. La Liga confirms right now that Griezmann has not moved to Atletico, according to Partidazo there. So the market is closed, by the way. So
the dumpster fire that is Barcelona continues, that they couldn't get this over the finish line at the last
because
minute.
They really needed this because of Griezmann's wages and just how much that's sucking out of Barcelona. So as you mentioned, the dumpster fire continues. But staying in La Liga and from the shirt that you're wearing, Jimmy, very quickly, Matthew Hoppe to Mallorca, as we mentioned. What a great place to play. Anyway, they've started well, by the way. 2 wins and a draw. Looking good. Stu Holden, Steve Nash, part of the ownership group there. So Hoppe to Mallorca. How do you feel about that? An American in La Liga kind of excites me.
100%. I'm very excited. I'm sure that Stu and or Steve had some influence on this particular decision to say, hey, let's go get him. Yeah, the owner of the club, Robert Sarver, also owns the Phoenix Suns. And so he listens to Steve Nash and Stu Holden, I think, quite a bit when it comes to this type of stuff. And I'm sure they have their own director of football and all that good, those types of roles as well. But Matthew Hoppe has something to his game. He's got a little, for all you old school U.S. men's national team fans, he's got a little Clint Dempsey in him where he's just going to do what he's going to do. He's going to be his own guy. And more often than not, that's going at teams. That's going at players individually. That's trying to make something happen. And when he doesn't make something happen, he's pissed. He's throwing his jersey. I mean, it can be a bit petulant at times, but it also is what makes him great, is because he's trying to do something positive every time he steps on and he feels like he can make a difference. He can be the major influence. He can be the difference maker. And I like a little bit of that swagger. And I think Mallorca are going to find a real gem without having to pay too much to get a player of his type of quality. And now he still has a lot of room to grow, both emotionally and physically and tactically and technically and all that stuff. He's a very young player, but he's shown enough promise. And I've seen enough of him now to think, I like what he brings to the table, and he'll be a nice balance to some of the other cooler, calmer players. And you need a little bit of that. You need a little swagger. You need a little craziness and unpredictability in your team. And I think Matthew Hoppe could do that for Mallorca. I don't know if he's going to be an out-and-out starter to start, but I think he could be a nice super sub as he starts to ease his way into La Liga.
There was actually another transfer. There was actually another deal involving Mallorca that really took me by surprise the other day. And if there's one club that might be more of a dumpster fire in La Liga, or at least over the last couple of years than Barca, it's Valencia. So Lee Kangin going to Mallorca for basically nothing. That made me raise my eyebrows, Carlo Ancelotti style.